Right, take 3. Hello, season's greetings. My name is Sarah. I am a knitter and independent yarn dyer from the southwest of England. We are currently on that in-betweeny stage between Christmas and New Year, where it's too late to say Merry Christmas, too early to say Happy New Year. So we're going with season's greetings. My dogs won't stop barking. The lighting, the sun can't make up its mind if it's in behind the clouds, coming out, poking me in the eye. So we're going to go with third time lucky. If the dogs bark, if the lighting changes, we're just going to roll with it. Otherwise, this is never going to get filmed. But yes, so today we are going to be looking at the link between a Roman god and knitting. Stay with me on this one. So the Roman god in question is Janus. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Janus. He is the two-faced god. He is the god of gateways, doorways, the past, the future, beginnings and endings. And I figure, and I also believe he's also the god that the month January was named after. So I figured it would be a lovely fit to have a look and chat about everything I have knit in 2022 and what I plan on knitting in 2023. So before we get into it, the usual stuff, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, just to appease the YouTube algorithm and get my videos out to more people. Thanks very much, guys. But without further ado, let's get into what I was knitting in 2022. Turns out it was flax. All about that flax, no treble. And woolly badger patterns. So if it was a gift knit for anybody, it was pretty much, if it wasn't one of my own hat patterns, it was a flax light. If you are not aware of the flax light pattern, it's by the Tin Can Knits. It's a free pattern. It's a top-down raglan, and it is sized for newborn babies up to like extra large man-sized. You've technically got like 6 options with the flax. So you've got the flax, which is knit in Aran weight. Picture of my dad wearing it here because that was what I knit him for his birthday. Or you've got the flax light, which is fingering or 4-ply weight, whichever terminology you use local to you. You can then also knit it cropped or full length in either weight, following either pattern, the flax or the flax light. And you can also add short row shaping to bring the back of the jumper up. I've only got one to show you today because the rest have been gifted. And that is this one here, which is in my colourway Claude, which is shades blues and purples and blues and greens and a little bit of purple. The lighting is playing up, so I don't really think the camera's... Oh, there we go. I'm picking some of it up there. So this one is a flax light with the short row shaping, so the back sits higher. And this one is knit for age 4 to 6. It just needs washing, blocking, and one of my tags put on it, and that is going next door to my neighbour's grandchildren. I've done 3 out of her 5 so far. I did plan on getting them all done by Christmas so that they were a gift from Santa. However, if you watched my last video, you will see that I got very engrossed in a new book series. It's the Afterlife Saga by Stephanie Hudson. I am on book set 3, The Cult of the Hexed. Still very engrossed in it. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with an audio option, so you're either knitting or reading, and I got far too into reading and not enough knitting done. So lots of pictures in here of the knits that I have done that are gifted. So that one's going to go next door, hopefully tomorrow. And then I've just got 2 more I need to knit, thankfully in no bigger than that. So another 4 to 6 year old and a 2 to 4 year old. So it's a very flexible pattern. You can put the the patterning on the top, so these are just pearl bumps. You can do it without, or do as I do, and I mix it up, and it's on a diagonal. So is that going to pick it up, this lighting? Yeah, so I go part way down, and then I get bored of doing that and just go round and round and round and round. The other things I've been knitting this year, so all of the flaxes were gift knits, and all of the stuff that I knit for myself tended to be woolly badger patterns. I haven't got any to hold up and show you, so I'll just put in some pictures. We have, I think my favourite that has got the most wear would be the Day Off Badge tee, which I wear with the lace panel down the front. But it's reversible, so you can wear it down the back if you feel like it. It's a really nice, light, summer weight top. Probably wasn't best when we were hitting like 34, 35 degrees here in the UK, which I accept might not be that hot for some of you, wherever you're located. But here in the UK, that's hot, and we don't have air conditioning. So that one probably got the most wear. I also knit 2 summer downs, and what was the third pattern of hers I knit? It wasn't Colleen, You Flutter Me. Oh, I had all the short row shaping. For the life of me, I can't remember what it is, so I'll put a little thingy in here to say what the other pattern of the woolly badgers is. Links to all of the patterns and everything that I'll be discussing today, my Etsy shop and all of that, will be in the description box below. So if you miss anything, sorry about the dogs, then the links will be down there. So that was right. Dogs have stopped barking. So if that was Janice looking to the past, looking at the beginning, we're now going to move on to Janice looking forward and to the future, and we're going to look at what I have planned in my head for knitting in 2023. We'll also mix that in with acquisitions and shop updates, because that's just how it will work. So with last year being flax and the woolly badger, it looks as though 2023 so far is going to be all about Andrea Mowry patterns. So, and that most of it is going to be knit with acquisitions that I have got in 2022, maybe some new colourways that I'll be putting in the shop and things, but that is the plan so far. So first of all, we're going to go in reverse order of how recently I acquired said acquisitions. And the first is my Chiagoo set, which I got for Christmas. This is the short circular set, and this is the blue one. They also do a red one, but this one is in, oh, throwing needles around, I'll pick that up in a moment. But this one is for sizes 3.5 mil up to 5 mil, which is US 4 through to US 8. You get 2 tip sizes, so you've got your 5 mil and your 3.5 mil miniatures. So these are really handy for socks, or in my cases, because I don't particularly knit socks, is going to be for sleeves on jumpers. So these will come in really handy for that. So you get that they come in a nice little folded top, and in the set, are you going to clip down? There we go. In the set, you also get your cables, which these are the standard Twist X Flex cables. So if you're new to Chiagoo, these I would probably say are the best cables, because they don't hold a memory. So no matter what you're knitting on them, they will spring out to that. They are absolutely brilliant. So you've got cable sizes here of 5 inches, 6 inches and 8 inches, which is 13, 15 and 20 centimetres respectively. You also get your end stoppers, some stitch markers, And I've also realised I've dropped on the floor the little ruler and needle gauge size that you get with this set. And in the little front pocket here is where I keep my end stoppers, my cable my locking keys and my stitch markers. So these are going to come in very handy for all my sleeve knits and anything that requires short circular. So the red set of these are the smaller needles, so I think they are like 2mm up to 3.25. I'm not 100% sure what those are in US sizes. I'm guessing like a 0 up to a 3, but forgive me if I'm wrong on that one. So that's the first gift I got. It's not really an acquisition. The second is, and kind of leading on to knitting and Andrea Mowry patterns, is I treated myself to the Corner of Crafts Chromatic Yarns Advent calendar this year. So that was 24 20-gram mini skeins, all dyed in the theme of Dungeons and Dragons inspired. And then on day 25 you get a 100-gram skein of yarn. So here is the 100-gram skein that I got, which is her colourway Beguiling Aurora. All of hers are, all of the advents were on her sturdy sock base, which is 75% blue-faced Leicester, 25% nylon, which is 425 meters or 465 yards of yarn. And I think this color is just gorgeous. You've got blues and greens with little flecks of yellow and pinky purples. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to knit with this, but I have started my Andrea Mowry knit along, or knit-a-thon, I guess, by starting with her So Faded shawl. So I've started backwards with the Chromatic Yarns colourways. I'll put a picture in here so you can see the full spectrum of colours. But this one is day 24. I've currently got on to day 23. So this is a lovely, you start with the tip here, cast on 3, and you are doing yarn overs along the edge. I don't think it really shows in this camera because it's rubbish. Yeah, so yarn overs along the edge with a central spine where you are knitting 2 together and passing a slip stitch over. So you do a load of garter, and then you go into a lacy section, and then you mould the 2 colours together back into some more garter and then more lace, etc, etc. So that's where I've started so far. Enjoying this. This is a lovely just sit and watch TV knit. So that's going to be the first of her So Faded patterns that I'm going to do. The second one, oh, now I'm dropping everything. Hang on, guys, we'll get there. When I dig out the yarn, there we go. Right, Bird Street. So the second of her So Faded patterns is going to be the So Faded jumper that I'm going to knit myself using my acquisitions from the Southern Wool Show back in September 2022. And these are my 2 Bird Street yarns that I picked up. We have got Kookaburra, and we have got Scuba. These are both 75-25 merino nylon blends, again 425 meters or 465 yards. So I am going to fade these together. Now I do have a thought of potentially running into one of my new colorways that I haven't yet put in the shop, but will be coming to the shop in January. And that is this one. And I don't think, yeah, my camera doesn't like picking this one up. So this one here is my colorway Dragon Scale. It's There we go. Shades of blues and greens. I don't think there was any purple in this one, but I think I'm going to fade those all together. Again, my yarn is also, so this one is 100%, no it's not, it's 100 grams of 75/25 merino nylon in the same weights, same measurements as the bird street. So 100 grams is 425 meters or 465 yards. So I am going to fade all of these together into a sew faded. Haven't worked out when I'm going to get around to doing this, but that is the plan. So you guys will need to hold me accountable for this. You'll need to look out for my videos in January. I highly recommend you hit the subscribe button, because I am rubbish at keeping to any schedule I set myself as to when I'm posting videos. I try to aim for one a month, every 4 weeks. Sometimes it's a little bit hit and miss. So if you want to keep me accountable and want to check how I'm getting on with my progress, then yes, subscribe. So this is going to be going in the shop. I got to try and get some decent photos of it to show the variation in colours. Whether I can achieve that, I do not know, but we'll give it a go. That one will be listed in January. So that is going to be her So Faded jumper. Is it jumper? Yes, I'm going to do the jumper. I'm not going to do the cardigan, because the next of her patterns that I want to do with more of my acquisitions from 2022, not 2020, is going to be her big cozy cardi, which I have decided I am going to knit out of these beauties that I got from Stitches and Cream down in Falmouth in October. So this is the colour Intertidal, which is by the Camel's yarns. So you've got kind of pale greens, some little bits of tan or brown in there. So this is, yes, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. This is superwash. Again, 100 grams is 425 meters or 465 yards. So I'm probably going to have to order some more, because I have got 2 of the standard sock base that the Camel's Yarns does, and I have got 1 of her fluffy base, sorry, it's her Surrey silk base, which is 74% baby Surrey alpaca, 26% mulberry silk. This is 500 grams, which is 300 meters, which I think equates to about 350 yards, if my maths is correct. Apologies if it's not. So I'm probably going to get myself some more of this, but this Surrey alpaca is just, oh, this is to die for. So I plan on knitting the big cozy cardi. Again, another Andrea Mowry pattern. So that's going to be knit out of my October acquisitions. And then, taking a break from Andrea Mowry patterns, I have every intention of designing a shawl. I have got the pattern in my head. I know roughly how it's going to work. It's going to be an asymmetrical one, starting from one corner and just getting bigger and bigger. It's going to have cables in it, and that is going to be knit. Where's the rest of it? Ah, there. That is going to be knit out of some acquisitions from the start or early part of last year. And I'm going to be doing them out of this. So again, it's Chromatic Yarns from Hannah at the Corner of Craft. This is on her sturdy DK base. So that's 75% superwash blue faced Leicester. Oh no, it's not. It's 100% blue faced Leicester. Even better. So this is her sturdy DK base, 100% superwash blue faced Leicester, which is 100 grams each. That's 225 meters which is 246 yards. So we've got lightning resistance, cold resistance, and Metagaming Pidgeon. So let's just give you a close-up of those colours. And I just think they're going to blend together so beautifully. But it is a question of when am I going to design, when am I going to knit it? Do I then write up the pattern, see how it goes? Because I'm currently already knitting another shawl, but this one will be a thicker, you know, a bit more heavy weight for the really, really cold days of the winter months, where whatever time of, whatever months of the year that may be, wherever you are based. But this, excuse me, sorry. This is going to be a shawl pattern. The other acquisitions that I got last year that don't as yet have a pattern applied to them in my head, but I need to come up with something. So if you can think of anything, please let me know. And that's these two. Now, they're from different suppliers, again, picked up from the Southern Wool Show that was held in Newbury in September. This one is superwash merino 75-25. So again, you've got 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams is 425 meters or 465 yards. And it's beautiful. It's called Lavender Fields. So this one is all shades of purple with a little bit of green, a little bit of like dusky orange in there. So that is beautiful. That's from the Ducky Darlings. And then Dragon Hill Studios have this beautiful colour. I don't think it's got a colourway attached to it. But this one is, unless it's, I don't know if it's the name of a base or the name of the colour, but it's Sherbon Sock 4-ply. So again, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 425 meters, 465 yards. But I think those will work beautifully together. Let's try and get a good light. There we go. I am just as yet unsure as to what to knit with them. It won't be socks. I might have to see if there's another Andrea Maury pattern that I like. Oh, I was planning on knitting the Weekender. I might need to take a look into that. But yes, so these are the acquisitions done. So that is everything that I picked up in 2022 that I plan on knitting with in 2023. I do plan on knitting the Weekender by Andrea Maury, but I do need to check. I can't remember what weight that even is. So I might even need to have to dye up some new colourways. The only other, I suppose it's on to shop news now, isn't it? I think I've covered everything. This is where it would come in handy if I wrote stuff down to cover all of the points, but where's the fun in that? We just make it up as we go along. So one new colourway that's definitely going in the shop in January is this one here. This is Iced Lagoon, which is shades of blues with a little bit of green in it, fairly pale, just, you know, inspire that iciness that we get in winter months. So this one is going in the shop and is available on my 75-25 merino base, 75-25 BFL for both fingering sock weight yarns, and I've also got a new DK base that I think is 75-25 as well. I'll double check and put a little thingy here, but again, all the links will be in the description box below. So this one's definitely going into the shop. And I am also aware that if you look in one of my previous videos, I had dyed up a colourway that was as yet unnamed. It's now going to be stuck with that name of as yet unnamed. I thought I'd listed it in the shop, and it turns out I hadn't. Yay, aren't I clever? So that will be going in January. The as yet unnamed is kind of a not variegated, it's a tonal red. So it would have been perfect for Christmas knits, but now it's going in the shop in January. So there we go. But in keeping with the Roman god Janus and looking to the future and new beginnings and all of that sort of thing, I thought what could be better than starting the new year giving all of you guys a discount or a sale. I'm going to hold a sale on my Etsy shop, 15% off. So if you want to pick up some new yarn to dye some new to knit some new projects for the new year, then go and check out my Etsy shop, KnittyBYarn. You don't need any code, the discount will automatically be applied. The only thing it will be excluding is the hand knitted dog jumpers and the caking service of skeins. If you don't have a Swift and ball winder, I will do that for you. But yeah, so that is basically where I was in 2022 and where I'm going in 2023. I will still be reading on my Afterlife Saga books. I do also have, if you're interested in books that is, I do also have Verity by Colleen Hoover. I know that was a big read that I think a lot of people have already read, but I was shopping for books for my niece for Christmas. She loves Colleen Hoover, so I got her a different one. I got me Verity. Once I finished it, I'll be giving that to her. And I've also got Richard Osman's, the third in his series of the Thursday Murder Club, which is The Bullet That Missed. So those are that's also my reading list to be getting on with in 2023 as well. And where I'm going to find all the time to get all of this done, I'm not entirely sure, because we are fast approaching that dreaded day when I actually have to go back to work and do my actual day job. And apparently I'm going to be in for a nice busy new year. I'm picking up some new responsibilities, some bits that I've always wanted to do. Whether or not that's going to give me the opportunity to knit at the same time as doing work, I do not know. Thankfully, my boss is really understanding and knows that so long as I'm getting all of my work done, whilst I'm sat at home, she doesn't mind if I've got my needles in my hand clicking along as well. Hi, Jo, thanks. But yeah, so what have you guys got planned for the new year? Please leave me a comment down below. Again, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends about me if you find me somewhat palatable to enjoy listening to me rambling on about what I'm knitting and tenuously linking it to mythology. I mean, I could see if we could start it finding a different god each month and working out how to link that into knitting. If you fancy mixing up your knitting with a bit of mythology, let me know down below. But otherwise, whatever you are up to, I hope you've had a very happy and productive seasonal period, December. I hope you've been getting on well, that you've been crafting on something you enjoy, and I hope you've got something new and promising to look forward to in the new year. But thanks for taking the time to watch me, and I'll catch you again in a few weeks. Thanks, guys. Bye.